Good morning. This is Crystal with Whole New Perspective. Can you believe that it may be illegal to sell kombucha in South Carolina? That's right, you heard me. So stick around as I make my Scoby hotel, which is really the same way I make my kombucha. And then, guys, I'm going to bring you this story at the end of my video. I used to make kombucha all the time. So kombucha is just a fermented tea, and I fermented black tea. And when you ferment your tea or make your kombucha, you get what's called a Scoby. A Scoby is an acronym for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. So every time you make kombucha, you get one. And what I would do is put it into what's called a Scoby hotel. And guys, I have not made kombucha in well over a year. My daughter and I used to drink it, but when she went off to college, I really just stopped making it. But I still had my Scoby hotel. And let me show you what that looks like now. This is it. You see that? Just a little bit of liquid in there. So I am really not sure if this is any good or not. I always put the date on it. That's 12/12, but it's 12/12 of 2020. So I'm just going to take this off. I'm going to smell it and examine my Scobies. Now, the one thing about handling this is that you must have clean hands. Everything you want to make sure is very clean whenever you're handling Scobies. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out, try and see if it's any good. And if it's good, I'm just going to make a new Scoby hotel, and I will make an attempt to do better with this. You know, I put it away in a corner and I just didn't really see it. I didn't think much about it, and every time I looked at it, I thought, well, I need to go ahead and make another hotel. But then I kept saying, I want to get it on video. I want to get it on video. And so now I finally said I have to get it on video now, or I'm just going to go ahead and make it. But I did want to show you all what that looks like, especially when you've neglected your Scobies. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to, what I may do, see that? So it does still have some liquid in there. And so I'm just going to take it off, and what I may do is just put the camera down so you can see what it looks like when I'm getting it out. The way that I'm going to make mine for my hotel is just the exact same way that I would make my kombucha. I have my water on right now. I have 4 cups of water. I'm going to bring it up, not to a boil, but almost to a boil. And then this is the tea that I use. I'm going to put 8 tea bags in there and let it steep for about 5 to 10 minutes. And when I take the tea bags out, I just pull the tea bags out. I don't try to drain all of the tea from the tea bags. And because I'm making a gallon, I'm gonna use a cup of sugar. Now, I don't put my sugar in with my tea bags. I wait until I've taken my tea bags out, and then I'll mix my sugar in with my tea at that time, and then I'll just let it cool down. And once I pour it into my fresh jug, then what I'll do is I will let it come to room temperature, put 13 to 14 more cups of water. But then I'll put this in. I still haven't opened this up to see if it smells good. I guess I probably should do that before I start. If I don't, I'll just make sure that I have some sweet tea for a few days. So I am just gonna go ahead and take this off. Then I'll loosely put a lid back on it for a few moments while I'm waiting. It actually smells good. My hands are clean. Let's see. These actually feel good. So I think they are still in good shape. I can peel them off if I want to, but I think what I'm gonna do is just, when I get ready to put it into my new container, I'll take it out then. But right now it does look good. I just wanted to make sure that it looked good. Smells good, and it does. I use the water from my Berkey. You may want to use distilled water. I have heard that if you use water from your sink, especially if it's city water, that it has quite a bit of chemicals in it and it may damage your Scoby. I don't know that to be fact, but just take that into consideration. It has cooled down enough, and I'm just going to go ahead and transfer this Scoby over to this new hotel. So I'm just going to clean up the outside of this, and then I'm going to put the top back on it, and I'll bring you back. I added a little more water. I'm just going to put the coffee filters on the top. I have 2, and I'm just going to go ahead and put the date on there. Today is April 10th. And then I'm gonna put the year this time, 22, but I plan to do a much better job of checking on it and actually making kombucha. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set this back aside. Again, I just wanted to bring you along with me as we have this year-old Scoby motel to this new motel. If you have lots of Scobies, you can use it as an opportunity to try out different flavored teas. A lot of people like green tea and different types of flavors. Now, for me, I just stick with the black tea. That's what works best for us. And sometimes I do a second fermentation with fruits, and we like that as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this back where it was and just try to keep an eye out on it. Thank you all so much for coming along with me. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. If you make kombucha, let me know about it. If you have a Scoby motel, let me know about that as well, and how you maintain your Scoby motel. Thank you again so much.
Kombucha could be a lot harder to find in South Carolina, and businesses across the state, they say that they've pulled it from their shelves because of a new and some say confusing law. Because it's fermented, kombucha has trace amounts of alcohol. State law requires a permit to sell alcohol or fermented beverages. A state spokesperson says standard kombucha is not included, but there is some gray area, so some stores say that they pulled it as a precaution.
Interesting.
Yeah.